Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. That email is in the description below. Reach out to me directly for the pricing of this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing an outlier. Not because this watch is exceptionally large or exceptionally complicated, but because it is exceptionally fine and exceptionally rare. From Kari Voutilainen. This is the Voutilainen Vingt-8 model V-8R, launched in 25 pieces in rose gold for 2013. This was actually the GPHG 2013 Men's Watch Prize winner, an evolution of the 2011 Vingt-8. This is a timepiece that is 39 millimeters in diameter in red gold by 11.5 millimeters thick by a delightfully compact 47.7 millimeters lug-to-lug with a 20 millimeter spacing between its lovely welded-on lugs. On the wrist, I can recommend this watch for wrists as small as 13 centimeters circumference. It is traditionally sized but not petite. This is a wonderful size for a modern men's dress complication. It could also be considered a viable unisex option. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you can see it's nowhere near the edge of my wrist, and it's nice and low with a domed bezel to slide gracefully beneath a tight dress sleeve. Taking a look at the strap, you can see it's dark brown, large rectangular scale alligator leather, bolstered to give it some volume. It has a folded edge, a monotone stitch, a semi-gloss finish, and you can see on the bottom, it is a brand new Kari Voutilainen strap, calfskin on the bottom, never gouged, never crimped. But you will get the chance to do so with this, a custom-made, satin-finished and polished Voutilainen pin buckle. No default designs here. You can see that every piece of this watch has been thoughtfully rendered by the master himself. Even the flank of the buckle has been designed to echo the bulbs of the lugs. Now, if you look closely here, you can see this is real old-school case manufacture. It's one thing to weld on lugs. That is difficult. Removing the evidence of the weld between lug and case is difficult, but to do it with such fine tolerances and such limited scope of movement between case and lug, this is true artisanal casecraft with literally no evidence of the lug remaining in spite of the remote recess from which that lug welding must be removed. This is incredible finish and detail work, and we're just talking about the case. We have two gadrons, lips to the case back and the bezel, that collectively define the mid case, which is polished and rounded. We have a domed bezel. We have a simple crown. It's actually quite large, almost like a vintage dive watch, but simple all the same. Push-down crown, 30 meters water resistant. Do not take it swimming. The dial is a lustrous black and features rose gold applique indices as well as polished rose gold tri-Arabic numerals. Now, what changed with the V-8R model compared to the original Vingt-8 of 2011 is that we gained hacking seconds, a stop works, and a power reserve. This is technically the V-8R Power Reserve. Lots to talk about, though, as nothing here is quite what it seems. The detailing is exquisite. You can see the metallic brushed profile of the inverse conical and dished seconds track. You can see each of the individual hands is actually made up of several parts, including fired blue steel and rose gold, and those parts are then assembled together to create the remarkable three-dimensional multifaceted structures you see, particularly for the hour and minute hand. Now, there is a power reserve scale. The power reserve is 49 hours. And it's true, the standard Vingt-8 is 65, but Kari Voutilainen wanted this watch to be more of a chronometer-style watch, meaning he didn't want it to run after it had ceased to keep time well. And he determined that 49 hours was the period during which the watch would keep the best time. So when this watch indicates up, it's indicating 49 hours of reserve, and precisely at the end of 49 hours, the movement will stop so it never keeps time suboptimally. It beats away at a lovely and vintagey 18,000 vibrations per hour, and it features a free-sprung index, a full balance bridge, those two features allowing for solid shock tolerance. It uses a free-sprung balance with variable inertia nuts on the rim itself, so it can be regulated very finely in 6 positions. You can see the watch is individually numbered on its case back as well as on the movement below the balance, and the balance is designed to be part of the show. It is huge, almost the radius of the movement itself. It is enormous, and Voutilainen is creating these parts. You can see that the hairspring is an overcoil so that the watch hairspring will develop concentrically with centered mass in any position the watch keeps even time. Of course, it's It's a manual winder, but what you can't quite tell is obviously you can see there are two blued escape wheels below the balance, much like Breguet's natural escapement of 1802 and similar double direct impulse systems used by F. Pigeon and Laurent Ferrier. You have two wheels, no Swiss lever. The wheels directly impulse the roller of the balance, and each wheel only impulses the balance in its direction of travel. That extends power reserve and it reduces friction to improve chronometry. Now, it's a traditional center wheel architecture, and this is where finish really comes to the fore. Kari Voutilainen, as with Philippe Dufour and Marco Lang, independents who are known for fine finish and low volume. Kari only builds a few dozen watches a year. You can see there's black polish as well as solarization on the ratchet wheel atop the barrel. You can see the click as well as all of the screws completely black polished, screws all with chamfered slots in circumference. You can see that there's a lovely frosting on the gilded bridges. There is a solid gold engraved rose gold medallion with the name Voutilainen, and then a second one which is blue inked just below the balance. The anglage here, as you can see, let me do my best to get it in focus. It is mirror smooth, a mile wide, and truly rounded, finished off likely with gentian wood, the way the finest anglage generally is. Do my best again to try to focus on what I want to highlight, but you can see two sharp interior angles where two bevels meet, and then you can see that there's a lovely polished dishing for each of the jewel and screw countersinks. Everything here, right down to the entirely black polished and mirror beveled balance bridge, is best in the world quality. It does not get any finer than this. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.